Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck and this is Riverview episode 8. In the last episode we just finished weeding this field number 8 with this herbicide. And so we're going to go ahead and park this tractor up because I believe we are done with all of this. Yep, wheat is just growing. We've got pH values in the green, nitrogen values in the green. Perfect, perfect. Expected yield 78%. Yeah, I mean, we're doing about as good as you can do, so let's go ahead and get this equipment put away. I'm going to zoom in to get behind or under these trees here when I'm driving, since we don't need to be so far out, now that we're not spreading anymore. And we are starting to run out of daylight in October, but it did rain a lot in the morning, so we had to delay some of the work we were going to get done. So we'll see how far we can get before the sun goes down. We had a worker going here on field number 10 with that subsoiler, and I know there's a couple of spots that worker missed, so we'll probably clean those up pretty soon. And we got to get planting on that other field, so a lot to do. I don't know how much of it will actually get done in this episode, or at least, excuse me, on October 1st. We'll probably get it done in this episode, but not until October 2nd, maybe. But we'll just see how it works. And the sprayer was parked in this corral here, so we're going to bring it back this way, and we'll just try to pull through like so. Straighten it out a little bit, maybe. And then we'll pull this over here as well. Oh, that's where the front loader is. Well, that's right. We'll just park this here. And we do want to get seating. We've got the weight and the seeder on the back. So let's get this Massey down there to continue seeding on our second field. I really wanted to start this earlier today, but unfortunately the rain held us off. And then I got distracted with applying the herbicide. So I probably should have started this a little bit earlier in the day, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get that much done today, but we'll get it going and then we can finish it on the second. That's another nice thing about 2-day months, is we can use those and spread the planting out over 2 days if we have to, or the harvesting just gives you more flexibility. So here is our field planted full of wheat, except for this one strip that we missed right here, but that's fine. So this is the field we're going to plant with the barley, and it's covered in weeds, but that's fine. That's what happens. So we're going to go ahead and loop around here. And we shouldn't damage this because it's in the first growth stage. And we are set to barley. And let me just triple check, because I don't want to mess that up. So yeah, we've got wheat here, and so you can see from the color code on the right, or our legend, if you want to call it that. We planted wheat on this one, and it's a darker brown on this one, so that's the barley below it. So we're going to go ahead and let this one just go on a worker here. And that's a nice soil texture we're getting there. And we'll just check the map again. Yep, that is going. Alright, so we're going to grab this guy, and there's a couple of spots that he missed. Most notably, there's a strip, I want to say over here, where you can clearly see the ground has a different texture and there's weeds growing out of it. So we're going to get here, lower this, and get this strip taken care of. And it looks like maybe there's some areas at the bottom of the field in front of those trees. One thing I've discovered in the short time I've been playing this map is these big trees that border the bottom of the map really mess up the worker. So I'm going to have to start doing headlands down here so that it can turn around with room. So we'll go up here, and you can already see that those were wheat before. But if we go here, we've got our stubble tillage. No, that's seed bed. Is that seed bed? No, it's stubble tillage. Stubble tillage everywhere, but we've got these two purple spots here, so that is harvested. So we need to get these as well. So we'll just come across like this and lift that up and then drive down here to this next spot. And I think there's quite a bit of work to be done on fields 9 and 10 anyway, because we still need to fix the pH levels and the levels that we get for the fertilizer, what is it called? So yeah, we've got our pH levels are still yellow, so we need to bring those up if we can. And our nitrogen levels, yeah, nitrogen is very red, so we need a lot of work there. So there's some work to do on this field yet, but at least we've got a start. Alright, so let me run this equipment back up here. And those will be part of October 2nd as well. But the most important thing that I need to do now that planting is underway is up here on our second cow pasture, the one that we're not currently using for cattle. We did get this mowed or harvested the other day, but we never got it tedded. So we were trying to let it dry out to make it into hay, but then it rained. So we weren't able to do that yet. So it's still looking very much like grass, and the grass underneath is growing, which is not the order you want to do this. Ideally, you want to do all this in the same day. Not let it sit there for a month of game time, but sometimes you just can't help the way that things work out. So we're gonna back up a little bit, and you can see that, well, actually let's zoom out. So now you can clearly see where the hay is and where we haven't been, which makes it real easy to do this way. But we've got quite a bit of tedding to do here. And so we're gonna do once all the way around the outside, and then it's a little bit wider down here on this end of the field, so we're gonna do a couple strips like this, and then we'll see if a worker can finish this off while we get some other things prepared for tomorrow. And then we'll have to come back with the windrower and the baler to get some more hay bales made, because this is what's going to feed our cattle over the winter, because grass does not grow in December, January, and February, or November, December, and January. One of those. There's a 3-month period where the grass doesn't grow, so we won't have any opportunity to make more hay until March, I'm pretty sure. Maybe February, but probably in March. So I want to make sure that we've got a little bit of food stored up, and this is why we're sticking with the 120. I think it's 120. How many cows do we currently have? Yeah, 60 and 60. We've got 120. They've got 50,000 liters of food currently, which should get them most of the way, but I don't want necessarily to get any more cows than this. I just don't know that we'll have enough hay to feed them for basically October, November, December, January, February, and then March would be the first opportunity we'd even have to make more hay, or maybe at that point silage, to start feeding them as well. So, yep, so we have done our headland. Let's back this up. And yeah, as you can see, it's starting to get darker. I'm going to turn on some lights. As you can see, this is where the field kind of straightens out and we could get longer runs in. So we're going to lower that, and we're going to try to get this south end of the field done real quick. And then we can start a worker up there either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how our daylight holds out. So again, being on seasons or seasonal growth, they also have the length of days shorter in the winter, which makes sense. That's how it actually works. But it does, you know, if this was August, we could totally get this entire field done, or July or whatever, because the days go a lot longer, but we just start running out of daylight at some point in time. So we'll just come down here and get all this stuff turned over, and then maybe we'll be able to get a longer strip done down here for the worker. And again, when we were doing field 11, the other cow pasture, the worker was having trouble recognizing the field for some reason. I don't know, because we just mowed all this manually on this field, if the worker will have the same trouble over here, or if we'll just have to manually do it. I mean, we'll find out here in a minute, I'm sure, but didn't estimate very well there. This is going to be 2 strips, and neither of them are going to be full strips, so we'll just overlap quite a bit just to make sure we're not leaving any grass unturned on this end of the field. Probably should have started way on the south end and then worked my way over so I could measure my lengths a little better, but that's okay. It's all getting turned over. We're making a lot of hay. So, and I think this field is about the same size as the other one, so I would guess we'd get about the same amount of bales, 8, as we did before. One difference might be if we left some hay in the baler from the last time. You know, if we were 8.5 bales, but we only got 8 out, maybe the extra half bale over here would make us 9. But the other thing that I really like about precision farming is you can now, if you select the field, it'll give you the hectaacres. So this is 1.4 hectaacres was the one that we did last time, and that gave us 8 bales. We're going to stop here, lift that up. So 1.4 hectaacres gave us 8 bales on unfertilized grass. Okay, so the mowing is fertilizing this grass now for the second stage. So even when we do it next time, we should get more than 8 because it's been fertilized. But also, this field may be a little bit bigger. The other one's more square, so that's why it's kind of hard to tell. So we're going to go ahead and lower this, and we'll put on our cruise control. Get her squared away. So yeah, this one is 1.4, and down here is 1.7. So, you know, 0.3 hectaacres more. So yeah, I mean, we'll do an over-under again because that was kind of fun, and some people enjoyed that on my last video where we had that. So we will definitely try to take some bets on how much we're going to end up with, but I would guess probably closer to 9, but I don't think that is going to get us to 10, but hard to say. But that'll be in the next episode when we actually start baling, or excuse me, in the next day. So let's see if, now that we're squared off, if a worker can do this. So let's get lined up, something like this. And he doesn't need any daylight to do it, apparently. No lights for you, worker. But he's going to do that. We'll see how well he can carry through. Let's flip back down to check out this worker. Oops, he's down here. Looks like he's not missing anything so far, unlike this strip. That's really bothering me, but we're kind of past the point where we can do much about it. There, so we've got 10 and 9, which both need fertilizer. And you guys are working. So let's just get ready for, I don't think we're going to do any of this tonight, but let's run down to the field and see where we left our spreader. And I'm going to cut through the hedge. Oh, and almost took out that little pallet. What's in that little pallet? Is that lime? Might need to go check that bag out. So here is our spreader. And it has got a lot of lime in it, so I'm guessing maybe that's fertilizer up there. So I guess we need to do both lime and fertilizer on here, so this is pretty much ready to go with this lime. So I guess we can just bring this down here. No, this is not the right tractor for this. So our lime is ready to spread, but we're going to need to use a different tractor on it. We need our Massey. Our Massey is planting. And our Massey is the highest horsepower, not our Kloss, right? Ooh, what do we got in sales? Slurry spreader or slurry tank. We are making slurry now that we have cows. Yeah, none of this really applies. So our medium tractor, nope, that's our harvester. Our medium tractor is our Massey. This is 225. That's the one we need to run the baler and the windrower. So I was thinking that was the Kloss, but it's not. Our Klosses are 205 horsepower, which should be plenty for pulling the lime. So yes, this is the right tractor for that. So let's go ahead and park this back down there so that I don't forget which tractor is which in the morning. And we basically won't be able to bale until we're done planting, because we need that Massey to do that. So that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and park this up here so that tomorrow we can start liming immediately. Let's see how this guy is doing planting wise. He's turning around. It's getting pretty dark, so let's once he gets all turned around, we're going to go ahead and cancel this worker, but we're going to let him get lined up first. So he's all lined up. So we're going to turn this one off too. So tomorrow morning we'll be able to just jump in here, set this worker going, go from there. And what is this guy doing? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and cancel that because it looks like, and this one we can't check on the map, but it looks like he's gotten all this, which would make sense. It wasn't that much left to do. So we've got this tedder. Nope, there is a strip right here. That's probably what he was backing up to do. So we will go ahead, drop this. Just do one little strip. It probably doesn't even matter because this wouldn't have been even a bale's worth. Maybe. I guess it's longer than I originally thought. But might as well get it tedded today so it can dry out overnight. And in the morning tomorrow, then we will go ahead and get that folded up. So this has all been turned to hay now. All we need to do is come back with the windrower and the baler to pick this up, which we will do with the Massey once the planting is done. We have our other two, no right turn here. We have our other two tractors ready to go, one to spread lime, which we'll probably just do manually while we're letting the Massey plant, because there's really nothing for this tractor to do in the interim. And we'll work our way through that. So we're going to just make our way through this maze of a yard over to the farmhouse. And we'll just leave this tedder attached. Oops, don't want to drive in there. Actually, we don't need the tedder anymore, so let's... I'm pretty confident we got it all, and we're not going to be making any more hay till March, so we can go ahead and park that up. Here are our chickens and our eggs. Got a few more eggs than we did last time, but again, those aren't mature chickens yet. The eggs will multiply a lot quicker in the future once we have that. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to just the headlights, which is what I like to do overnight, just so I can see, and we will go ahead and sleep till morning. Well, so far pretty productive October 1st, even though it rained a bunch. Now it is October 2nd, and we will see what the day brings us. So we actually don't need this tractor yet, so I'm just going to leave it here. Oh, and it looks like we have rain in the forecast. Of course we do. So rain from 1 to 5, basically. And then cloudy after that. So we need to get the rest of the planting done in the morning, which we were planning to anyway. But we shouldn't be bailing in the rain regardless. So we're going to take this and just start this worker right where he was. He'll get squared away. And continue planting down here. And then we're going to go ahead and get this fired up and get some lime going on these fields. And baling will probably be in episode 9 because we're running up on it and we've got this to do and we can't do it till the planting is done anyway. So you see, once we get on the field, that precision farming shows up on our mini map. This thing spreads a lot wider than I originally thought it did because it's got the extenders on it. So I think something like this would be okay, but we will just zoom out a little bit. I think we're getting all the way to the end. Nope, we're missing just the tiniest little bit down there, but that's all right. We'll kind of stop there and then back it up here. And man, these trees, they make the farm look established, you know, because it's got some older trees on it. It's not, you know, like those new housing developments where everything is just taken down to grass and you just see like 1 or 2 tiny little trees. So I like them for that, but man, it does mess with your camera view when I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing, and also it messes with the workers because they get confused at the end of the field because they don't know what to do when turn around. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll just leave them because they're nice looking, but get a chainsaw and do a little bit of forestry and get those off of my farm so that I don't constantly have those in the view for you guys. But yeah, let me know. Like, does that really annoy you when you guys turn around and all you can see is trees for a second? Or is it fine because it's just how the game works and how this third-person view works? Yeah, let me know. I'd be interested to get some feedback and just see what you think about the trees. I'm used to it, but I'm conscious of the fact that I'm making content here. I'm making videos, so I don't want to make something that you guys don't want to watch because you're staring into a tree like that. And I have to zoom this far out when I'm spreading just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So that's kind of the difference. Alright, let's get squared away. When we're doing planting and things like that, I can zoom in and it's usually not that big of a deal. Yep, we're missing a gap. So we're going to come back this way and square off here. This should do it. Come on, why aren't you spreading? Clicking too many buttons. Spreading like that. Oh, because it's got the automatic spreader. It's going to spread. Yeah, that's the other thing about precision farming. If you turn on the spreader, but it detects that you've already done that area, it will turn it off, which again saves you fertilizer or saves you lime. But it does when you've got little patches like that you're trying to hit. If it detects that you've done the majority of it, it won't let you spray that section. So that's another thing we've been dealing with. So I'm so used to turning the sprayers on and off from playing lots and lots of farm sim that it confuses me sometimes when the auto sprayer is like, no, we've already done this area, and I'm like, but I can literally see ground that is not covered with the lime. So it is what it is. But so I'm not going to turn off the sprayer right now. I'm just going to let it automatically turn off. And there it stopped on its own. And we're going to turn around and it's going to start because it detected this part at the bottom of the field. Then it's going to stop here in the middle. Then it's going to start up again because it's detecting this area. So it's cool, and I like that they put something in to kind of help with that, but it is a little different and I'm still getting used to it. So, but regardless, so this is helping the nitrogen levels, I believe. No, the pH levels. The nitrogen is the fertilizer. I've got to get these terms right. So like here, it's going to turn it off, and I want to get this section, but I don't think it's going to do it. Nope, didn't do it. And didn't do it. So I've got 28% left. So I'm just going to come over here and start spreading on this field too. Because I'm trying to empty it out so that I can get fertilizer in here and start fertilizing these fields as well. And since we're off the field, I will turn that off manually here. We've got 25% left, so I'm going to come down here and do a headland at the bottom as well to kind of help with the turning around bit. And I am going to just spray this kind of dog leg on my way down. Just so we don't get confused on that in the future. So this is going to leave a partially limed field on field number 9 here, but that is okay. We will just take care of this the best that we can. Run our fertilizer, and then we can refill with some lime and come back up here. Yep, and got caught on that tree a little bit, but that's okay. So we've got 20%. Who knows? We might actually get this done. I don't think so, because we used like 50% or 40% on that other field, but we're going to make a bigger dent in here than I thought we were Almost tempted to go ahead and just grab some more lime, but I don't want to grab too much and then have a pallet sitting around, so I don't know. We'll take a look when we get there. So that should have turned off the sprayer until we get back to here, and then it should turn it back on. So it is nice when you're driving, you don't have to worry about shutting it on and off, but I sometimes forget, and then I confuse myself because I can't tell if it's spraying or not because of it auto turns it on and off in precision farming. But whatever, that's a nitpicking complaint, if you can even call it a complaint. I'm just kind of talking about spreading and the differences that I'm seeing in precision farming over base FS22. No, what are you guys noticing? Are you playing with precision farming? Are you having, I'm not even going to say the same issues because it's not really an issue, but are you noticing the same things, or do you guys like that it turns it on and off? I think ultimately I like it too. It's just on these smaller fields, sometimes I just want to cover all those little areas that I missed, and I can't because I can't. So 7%. We just might be able to finish off this field, guys. We will see. I'm going to square away so that we only have to do this part once. And then we just have that strip at the top. So we might not need any more lime. Or 4% and just this section left. We might actually have a pallet of lime sitting around after this, which is really funny because I didn't think that was going to happen. So the animation still shows that it's spreading everywhere, but it's running at a smaller rate. So 2%, 1%. Yeah, and that is 301 liters left. And so that's going to leave a partial pallet here. In fact, I'm going to just open up real quick and just make sure this isn't lime. I'm pretty sure it's not, but we'll try to load it. Interesting. That was 63 liters of fertilizer. It loaded it, but my lime is gone. I mean, we only had 2%, so I guess that's not really an issue. But yeah, that just took away my lime. We destroyed that. So I suppose if I wanted it, I should have unloaded it first. Well, interesting to know. I didn't know that that was a thing that this would do. So I'm driving around with the lid open, which is also not best practice. But we're going to go ahead and get some fertilizer, and then we'll probably wrap up the episode here, and we can start fertilizing in the next episode. So let's get up to here. So that's all the fertilizer we have is this 18%. We're probably going to have to buy more, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. A subscription always helps. And ring that bell if you want to see more great content right when it's released. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.